Banyana Banyana will not be the only ones representing South Africa at the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. Starting on the 20th of July up until the 20th of August, there'll be another lady, an official, a referee who will be doing games there at the World Cup down under. Her name is Akhona Makalima, and she joins me here in studio. She is now well known in the football circles in South Africa. But let me first go straight to the point. How does it feel that you're going to the World Cup?
Good morning, Benjamin. It still feels like a dream because even at this point, sometimes when I start working and doing all my training and fitting in everything, I still feel, am I really going to this World Cup? Yeah. Because I just remember 2019 when I was not even a candidate, right? So now the reality comes true. I came up with my own plan and my own vision and my goal. I wrote it there, I placed it there, I said, 2023, I'm going to the World Cup. So now when it's happening, I still pinch myself and say, you made it to the list. Wow.
So you actually planned it,
yeah.
Even though at some point it didn't look like it would happen. We'll get back to that. How do you become a referee when you are, you're still at the age of playing, actually. You could still you could actually be the 23-woman squad for Desiree Ellis going to play. But instead, you're going to be the woman in the middle. How does the decision come to be a referee?
So, obviously, I'm coming from the Eastern Cape and the dusty streets of Ngamak, where we didn't really have such opportunities. We didn't have really development structures. And when I finished college, I felt like I think I'm old because of the competition was not really there. And when I needed to play, if I wanted to play for Banyana Banyana, I needed to move and come to bigger cities. And at that point in time, in my family, they never believed that a woman can make it that big in football or in sports. And even if I wanted to move to Johannesburg or Durban to play maybe for Soweto ladies, my mother was not going to allow me to just move and say I'm going to play football. You need to study, graduate, and go look for a job. Not go and play football. Where is it going to take you? It doesn't pay enough money. So that was my dream. I've always wanted to play for Banyana Banyana. But when I finished college and my mother was like, no, you're not going to do that, I decided, okay, I'm not going to do it. And right when I was playing in college, finished and everything, I decided, okay, I'm 23 and I'm not playing for Banyana Banyana and I'm not going to go to Durban. I'm not going to go to Johannesburg to play because nobody's going to support that dream. So I decided, okay, I don't want to fall out of sports. I love football. Luckily, when I was stopping playing football, SAFA came and said, we are looking for female match officials who would love to be referees. So I took that opportunity and I ran away with it.
Wow. So the dream was to play.
Yeah.
And the risk was too great. But you're like, okay, there's something else that I can do. And fast forward to, I think, 2014, you were, I don't know what the proper word is to use, but you were officially recognized as a FIFA referee back in 2014. How does that come about?
Listen, when the dream was fading of becoming a player, right, and it was then afforded with another opportunity to be a match official because the opportunity was presented to all of us. And when I could not play, I knew that there was something else that I can do. So when this opportunity came through by SAFA, I took that mindset, I took that opportunity with a full mindset and with the same discipline that I wanted to play, and I'm going to make it big. So my idea was that, okay, if because of where you're from, you cannot make it to Banyana Banyana or to bigger teams, then here is another opportunity. Use this opportunity. And the refereeing has never been my biggest dream. I never dreamed of being a referee, no. But it was not even a plan C or D. But when it was presented to me, I said, I love my football. Yeah. I'm gonna take this. So I write everything down that I want to achieve. So I wrote this thing down and say, okay, at this particular time in my life, I would love to be at this point. At this particular time in my life, I would love to be at this point. And 2014, I started refereeing 2011. And 2014, I was a FIFA referee.
Wow. And then now you are into the professional ranks, and we start seeing, I think in all my years of watching football, you were the first lady that I saw taking charge of a PSL match. I stand to be corrected. maybe those who watched football before me might have another opinion. But you were the first lady to do it in South Africa. How, I mean, the nerves must have been at their peak.
I think people started recognizing me, but there was a lady before
me.
Yes. But I think I had a number of PSL games than she had.
Yes.
And I think I became very... I think I did a number of high-profile games in South Africa, and that is how people started to recognize that there is a female referee in the PSL. But she was there before I was there.
Yeah. And I was saying to a couple of my colleagues before this interview that players behave when you are taking charge of a game, that you run a very tight ship, certainly from what we can see on our television screens. But surely it cannot have been easy for you to move into that space where you have professional football players, male football players, where you come into a space that they consider to be their own. Either you have difficulty with the misogyny of it all. There's those who feel that what's a woman doing here?
Totally.
And also, surely you had maybe inappropriate conversations or approaches to you as a woman coming from the professional players at some point. Has there been anything like that?
I'm going to be honest and say it has not been an easy road. All right, to also constantly have to introduce yourself in a space that is really recognized to be for men. And when you come in as a female, the questions will always come that what does she know? She belongs in the kitchen. One coach said that to me. And what do you know? This is not netball, right? And I have a very strong character, and also I always tell people that I'm coming from a background that does not limit me. I'm coming from a community that has taught me to stand out. And in my family, I was never told that this is for a woman, this is for a girl. So I'm never raised for a boy. I was never raised like that. So when I came into football, I would be remembered. I would always be told that you are a woman, where you belong, you need to do this. And sometimes they would even think that my decisions are being influenced by the fact that I am a woman. Or even if you give a call, they will always doubt it, not because it's an incorrect call or whatsoever, but simply because it's coming from a woman. But I would always stand my ground and my authority and say, if I am here, I'm going to be in charge, and you are going to play by my whistle. So I've always believed in the fact that I know what I do. I've studied what I do. I am the specialist of the law. And with all that being said, you are going to listen to me. I'm here to interpret the law, and you are going to play with my whistle, and that's it.
What is there further training that you still need to go through for ahead of the World Cup?
Yes, we go through a lot of trainings, like preparation courses, fitness tests, technical and everything. So we go through that. I'm coming from Qatar, going to Algeria, so we do have a lot of trainings.
Okay, I'm going to deviate from that a little bit. You're, as I said, a referee in the PSL, and I have to squeeze this in. There's been a lot said about whether we should be implementing VAR and when it's coming and all of that. Do we have capacity for that in South Africa?
I would like to answer that question, but I'm not the right person to answer that. But the only thing that I can say is that VAR is future. The more we adjust to it, it's a beautiful tool. And if we allow it and appreciate it, we will know that VAR is a beautiful tool to use, and it's going to benefit the game.
Well, Akhona Makalima, you will be using the video assistant referee at the World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, and hopefully you bring all that knowledge back to South Africa. We have had, it's been desperately too short, and we need to chat again sometime soon. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you. You wanted to play. You would have wanted to be on the plane with Banyana to go play at the World Cup. You don't have to, because you'll be officiating. You'll be the one making the decisions. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck in Australia and New Zealand.